Daily horoscopes come to mind when most people think of astrology, but there is much more to it. In her first book, You Were Born for This, Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance, world-renowned astrologer Chani Nicholas shows us how taking a closer look at your birth chart can help guide you to live the life you were born to. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so the planets, the stars, that's what comes to mind for a lot of people when they think astrology. And it seems to be experiencing a little bit of a resurgence for a lot of people. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think astrology is having an internet. So in the beginning, like we didn't have as much medium to talk to each other. And astrology is an incredible, memeable, archetypal language. And so we can make jokes, we can feel dragged, we can feel seen, we can feel acknowledged in a lot of ways, and we can also make jokes about our friends and get to know. So in these little snapshots, we can understand each other, and so that works really well on the internet. Okay,
but I look at that right there, and it's not a language that I feel is accessible to me. So explain birth charts and how they tie into it, and what does it involve for us, and can I do that myself? Can I access that myself? Or do I need somebody? I do have to put something between me and it?
Well, both. I think it's really good to work with a professional astrologer, but I wrote a book to break down the most important things to pay attention to when you're looking at your chart. So your chart is a snapshot of the sky the moment you take your first breath.
Okay.
And that snapshot is like a map. It's like knowing that we're in Toronto. I don't know what you're going to do in Toronto, but I know that you're here. I know that it's gray in January. It's not LA.
That is true. Yes, it's very, very
gray. So I know you're going to need a jacket. So your chart is like that. We know where you are, and then you can make better choices knowing that, I think, in your life.
What do you say to skeptics? There's a lot out there. I'll admit I'm a skeptic as well.
It's great. I don't think everyone should use the same thing. I don't think everyone should be into astrology. I think if it's a language that you like, then you should study it and learn about it. And if it's not, then I think you should find what works for you and go with it.
How did you get into it?
I had a reading when I was 12, and the astrologer started speaking, and I was like, I I know this, but I don't know it. And so I've been learning about it ever since.
So at 12 years old, do you remember what the reading was?
Yeah.
What they told you?
Parts of it, I remember it was my whole family went for a reading, and she was talking about why I was different than my stepsister, and my stepbrother, and my stepmom, and my dad, and how we all function very differently. And it was fascinating to me because it was really true, and she didn't know us.
So you say that the book is a guide for astrology for radical self-acceptance and healing. How do you hope that it resonates for readers?
Well, I hope it gives people the permission to be themselves and to follow their passion and to follow their natural inclination and to develop that in the world and to be of service in the world in some way.
That's a beneficial thing to
I hope so. I hope so.
I gotta say, in my mind, when I think it's just passionate adherence to astrology, I think of a particular type of person. I'm guessing that in your work, you have met a various cross-section of people for whom this is an important part of their lives.
Yeah, I have. I give readings to everybody from activists to artists to folks doing childcare. It can be a tool for everyone.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to meet you.
You too.
All right, You Were Born for This, Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance is the book, and it's available everywhere books are sold.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.